Where my girls at? Where my girls at? Independent, free spirit. Ooh, it's something serious. Where my girls at? We link up in a cool minute. Where my girls at? It's going down, down. Where my girls at? It's going down, down. It's going down tonight. We going out tonight. Yeah, right. We going out tonight. It's going down tonight. Yeah, right. It's going down tonight. We going out tonight.
All righty. It is time to link up. I'm telling you, one day when you come to the very first Force of Friendship 9:10 a.m. Superstation We Got Issues event, right? The official event that is coming. I'm telling you, we are going to have our very own Where My Girls At dance. It's going to be a dance. Welcome to We Got Issues. Welcome to We Got Issues. Thank you so much for joining 9:10 a.m. the Superstation WFDF Radio. We are so excited. I am Katrina Harris Earl with the Force of Friendship. We are so grateful that you're tuning into us. Let's just call it a terrific Thursday. There's a whole bunch happening in the world today, and we do have issues. But one thing that we know as the Force of Friendship, the day that you have, it really is up to you. It really is up to you. Regardless of what's going on in the world, there's so many reasons to cry, but I'm telling you, there's a lot of reasons to laugh. And we hope that you will laugh today, even while we keep it real, because we got issues. We got issues for real. And we want you to call us with your issues. Today, we're talking about what do you do to keep yourself feeling great about you? How do you keep yourself feeling great about you? And of course, I am coming in with my personal trainer, and he is going to lead in for a portion of the show talking about how to feel great about you as we ride into the summer. It is the best time to take care of your body. I think it's an easier time to take care of your body. You get more daytime in the daytime, even though it's important all year long, but he's going to lean in and talk about that. So we will have Walter Sellers on in just a few moments. We have a lot to talk about. I am so glad to see my girlfriend Sabrina Goodwin Monday in the house. Gloria Mayfield Banks in the house. Lady Chrisette Ellis is not with us today, but you know, she's going to be in that chat or something. If we say something controversial, she's going to have something to say about it because we got issues. Well, you guys, there's a lot happening in the world, and we're going to talk about the news. I mean, I don't know. I love the show and I love being with you guys, but I'm really looking forward to an hour from now. I have my old-fashioned, what do they call it, DVR? It ain't a VCR anymore. I have it ready to go because I want to hear everything that is happening. I want to hear it all. But before we talk about the real news, I'm going to tell you about what I heard that was the news that made me the happiest today. And I'm passing to the girlfriends. Have you, anybody in the chat, anyone that's listening in, have you gotten a phone call asking you to pay your car warranty is about to expire? Has everybody gotten that? Has everybody gotten that call?
Everybody.
Everyone's gotten that call. Well, guess what? 8 billion calls have gone out. Most of them are from Texas, LA, and Hungary. 8 billion calls, and the FCC starting today is cracking down on auto warranty robocalls. That was the best news I got all day. I'm like,
right.
I haven't my car in 30 years. So before we talk about Steve Bannon, before we talk about Trump, before we talk about Nancy Pelosi getting threatened, not being able, if she travels to Taiwan, China has threatened her. I mean, when I tell you news. I'm gonna go to the strapless one or the sleeveless one. Sabrina, looking fly and fabulous. We can tell you feeling good about yourself.
Okay.
Talk to the people.
Oh my goodness. You know, it's just a lot of news. I mean, from our president testing positive, President Biden positive with COVID. And, you know, I'm looking at his press secretary. We got to talk about, how do you pronounce your name, Corinne? How do you pronounce the new press secretary? I know Alicia, she's not getting straight. Yeah. But his new press secretary, I mean, she's doing a job. She's doing a job.
It's a tough job, baby. It's a tough job.
It's a tough job. But I gotta say that Jen Psaki, what was her name? What was Jen's? She was the best.
Psaki.
Yeah. She was the best. And
where did she go?
she's gonna have a show on MSNBC. She's gonna have her own show or something like that.
The one with the red hair?
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
I liked
Yep.
her.
I really
Someone
like
said
her.
Trump has COVID. Someone says Trump has COVID. Trump or Biden? We know Biden.
Again, Trump already had it, but he might have, but Biden certainly has. President Biden, Trump had it, but President Biden has it today. Hey, Alicia Maxey, she's our fact checker. She will tell us if we're good or bad, happy or sad. She will let us know. Yes, yes, yes. And so with that, I know we've said it before. They're saying with this new variant, it's not if you'll get it, it's when you'll get it. And so that just concerns me because we have a big conference coming up. I think one of our viewers is already at her conference. And so we just have to, they said that we have to learn to live with it. So I guess that's what we're doing. Hot, heat, humid all over the country. I mean, people are just, can you imagine? People who don't have air conditioning. This kind of weather. And it's something out there, you guys.
They don't have air conditioning. Some people don't have enough water. Some people don't live near any kind of water, any kind of pool. And then if you go internationally, all the huge, phenomenal, fabulous lakes and rivers that have been monuments forever are drying up like dry. Not low, dry, gone. There's one they said that was, they said they found a ship. Did y'all hear that they found a ship from World War II? The water is gone, so they finally saw a ship from World War II because the water was gone.
Now.
A tanker. It was a tanker.
Well, I sent you guys that yesterday in our chat about there were 7.2 billion tons of water melted in 3 days. No, it's enough water. Let me get it right. It was enough water to fill 7 million Olympic-sized pools. Right. That's how much water melted in Greenland in 3 days. That literally, it's going to be just a matter of time that some coastal cities, some of the most prime real estate, will be unlivable because the water will rise. It's like, that's unbelievable.
Because the water will rise?
Because when that water melts, when that ice melts, it raises the sea level. And so it changes everything. It's just interesting when you really get interest, when you think you're just living over here doing your own thing.
Right.
And then you realize, you know what, by me doing my own thing, it's affected my brother on the other side of the world. From the heat of the whole planet, it's melting that much water.
That is happening right before our eyes.
Mm-hmm. It is. And remember the old adage, when your grandmother, your mother used to say, what in the world? What is the world coming to? Right. It's never been truer than now. What in the world, y'all? Why are you laughing, Katrina? What?
Because we sound like the old people we used to say. And then we lost.
We are the old people. We are now the old people. Okay.
No, I'm not going to be in this conversation. I didn't get the memo about the hat. I don't want to be in the old group talking about what the world's going on.
There's no plastic going on the furniture, but I'm like, sometimes I'm like, this sounds like the conversation I couldn't come in the room to hear. Okay.
Right. That's right. Go on to bed. Go on to bed. This ain't your concern. Go on to bed. Now look at it.
We get the warnings, but you guys, another thing, I told you I met with my health coach yesterday, and she talked about plastics, how much plastic is being found in people's bodies from drinking out of bottled water bottles. And when she told me that and showed me this scan that they do, plastics that cause so much disease, she said, run from plastic, anything. Do not drink out of plastic. It's something. Yeah.
And I told you guys, go ahead, Gloria.
It's getting into our bodies from the bottles of water and other things.
Yes. I said, so aluminum cans are better. She said, absolutely. And preferably glass. If you can't drink out of, your glassware at home, whenever you're out buying anything bottled, it should be preferably a glass bottle, never plastic.
And I told you guys that it was came from me watching TikTok, that a doctor was on there that couldn't figure out why her client was having the high blood pressure situation, even though they'd lost weight and done everything. And finally she looked at the Costco water and the sodium count in the Costco water. So we have changed from the Kirkland water. So who would have thought to read a label on the water?
The sodium count in water. Well, what does she feel about this? About bottled water? The bottle.
That's fine. That container is fine. That container is fine. It's That's not plastic, Gloria.
No, but you said glass only.
No, I didn't say glass.
I never did like her. Never did like her.
Glass is the best.
I never did like her. Because we got issues, and this whole thing about being girlfriends for 30 years, we need to define girlfriends. That's what we need to do, define it.
Yeah. Oh yeah, Donna, that's right. True, along with the percentage of mold we have in our bodies. Not good. Mold. She talked about that too. Absolutely. Oh my goodness.
What else did she talk about?
Mold.
Yeah. The number of people, and it affects our people more, because I was talking to someone who's dealing with serious respiratory issues, and finally we asked and said, well, what about the new place you moved into? Do you think it's there? And they really believe that the respiratory issues that they're dealing with is because of the mold. There must be mold in the place that they're living in. So a lot of people that live in older homes, they're renting, they're whatever, it's, and it certainly affects more of our people, poorer people, lower income people. It's real.
When you said the word rent, I heard today that rent is up 14% over where it was last year. 14%. Rent is up, like across the
board. Did you guys see that report? How many people are behind in their rent?
No,
months,
and it's coming due. Years. Some people a year. In LA, you didn't have to pay for. Some people didn't have to pay for a year,
and now they have to make it up.
Yeah.
There was.
How are they gonna make
California? That up? California had a rent forgiveness, COVID forgiveness. It helped, but again, if you missed the deadline, if you didn't know how to fill out that paperwork, if you didn't have your stuff in order, it could be a problem. A lot of people were on the news talking about, I don't know where I'm going. Some older people, I'm gonna have to move home with my kids because they can't afford the rent increase. And some places are not just going up 14%. There's some places, if you were under certain whatever, now they're doubling. I mean, if they do certain renovations or certain things, then they can reconfigure the rent. And some of the rents are like going way up. Yeah.
And what about baby formula? Still hard to find on the shelves.
Girl,
still saying unavailable.
On there. 8 weeks. She has 8 weeks supply, and there's no more she can find. They said women are crossing the border to get formula.
Yeah.
You saw that?
Yeah.
I didn't even know. But that's what's crazy is, like, I missed that. That should be top of the news, and I missed it. What I did hear yesterday is the doctor who performed the abortion for the 10-year-old, they're threatening her life and threatening to kidnap her daughter. And I'm trying to think, you are pro-choice, if you're pro-choice, how can you threaten to kill somebody and threaten her child like that? That's just
good question, Katrina. Good dang long question.
Yeah, but how about this? Now you're gonna harm her.
How about birth control might go away in the country? Like they might vote out our ability.
What again? What in the world? What in the world is going on? What in the world?
Birth control?
What?
You can't even use the IU or D for real.
We have listed 25 issues. You brought up the issue yesterday, and Casey said that Texas has many jails that have no AC. So seriously, again, affecting so many people, affecting a lot of, people of color, with more African Americans being disproportionately in jail. I mean, when I say we got issues, we could just talk about those issues every day, all the time. But when we come back, we're going to talk about you. the individual. How, in the midst of all this crazy, do you feel good about you? I'm going to give you some points. I'm going to share some things. We're going to talk about increasing your self-love. But when we come back, we're going to have my personal trainer, Gloria's personal trainer, a lot of other people's personal trainer, Walter Sellers from Classic Man Fitness will be on the line. Hold on. Be right back in just a couple minutes. Bye-bye. All righty. Well, today we are talking about how to feel good about yourself, red bottoms, kiss your boyfriend on the cheek, awesome stuff that can make you feel good about yourself. But we are so grateful that you're listening in to We Got Issues. And we talk about the issues. There are issues everywhere. But in the midst of it all, it's so important that you feel good about you, because you know what? You came in by yourself and you're going out by yourself. And in the between, the most important thing is that my theme for this year is shift, being in alignment for the assignment. And in order to be in alignment for the assignment God has for you in your life, you have got to feel good about you. So today was my day to work out with the Walter Sellers. And I said, I want you to kill me quickly, not kill me softly. Okay. Because you're going to kill me one way or another. So just going to do it quickly. But I'm telling you, Walter, I'm so grateful for you and the accountability. I can ghost you a little bit and then you will creep on up in there and say, where you at? So we are going to lead in. Walter is, for our social media audience, he is on radio only, but you will be able to hear his voice. Walter Sellers of Classic Man Fitness. We are so grateful for you. Just say hello. What's on your mind? President testing positive for COVID. We got to stay healthy, and it's hot outside, but we got to take care of ourselves for the rest of this summer and the rest of our lives. So welcome to We Got Issues, Walter Sellers. Excellent. Say hello.
Maryland, Lord. Yes. So, and thank you for having me on, Katrina, because it is important. Drink water all day long. I drink about a gallon and a half, and because of the temperature, I'm up around 2 gallons. So it's too hot. It is too hot. It is a vital part of our functioning and what we do, and I hope that's something that you guys take with you today. Obviously, we would rather it not be plastic, but if it has to be plastic, that's okay because it's hot. Drink that water.
Walter, I have a question, and I don't know if you can answer this, but honestly, I drink a lot of water, but I feel like I have to go to the bathroom more than regular people. It's hard to drink a lot of water, just on the real tip, because some people are in a job that they can't go to the bathroom every 30 minutes. How do you manage that? That's a real job.
That's a hard one, to be honest. Over time, though, if you do it consistently, your body will adapt to your water intake. Just one of the smart things that our bodies will do for us. There are different things in our life, that women do that men don't, like pelvic health is a big deal. So making sure that you focus on your core activities, your core shifting activities will help with that over time. But unfortunately, it's just the fact of life. If you drink water, you're going to go pee. It's just that's just one of those things that are going to happen. If you time your water up, you can pretty much time it throughout the day, though, right? So let's say you do 4 ounces every 30 minutes or 45 minutes. You can kind of gauge how your body reacts. So you do a little test. Finish one bottle, write down how long it takes for you to go to the bathroom again, and then you can time out how often it takes you to go. Hopefully, that's a little kick that can work for more people to drink more water. Because the last thing you want to do is be dehydrated, especially with temperatures being up where they are now. A lot of elderly folks, we need to check on them, make sure they have water, make sure they have air conditioning. If it's super hot where they are and they don't have air conditioning, go to your local shopping malls. They're always air conditioned, and that's a place where you can go and kind of cool off a little bit. Some pointers that I give my grandma when she goes out. Go to the shopping mall, hang out there for a little bit, at least during the hottest part of the day, from 11 till 3. Just walk around the okay, Walter. Hang out with them. Maybe you might learn something.
Hey, Walter, the glory. I'm so glad you're on the show. Walter, you gave me a tip I thought you should share with people on how to drink more water, because I know there's a lot of people who want to increase their water intake. And you said, can you explain that thing you taught me about timing out the water?
Sure. So, for me, for instance, I drink, like I said, about 2 gallons. I use myself as an example because everybody is different. But one thing you do is if you know you have to drink a gallon of water a day, we know that that's about 128 ounces. That's a lot of counting, right? That's like 16 bottles of water. Nobody wants to do all that. But if you break it down and say, you know what, I'm going to drink 1 bottle of water every 45 minutes. You can get through it from the time you wake up in the morning to the time you get out. And that way you can kind of gauge how far along you are. Luckily, there's a lot of different companies now on Amazon.com. You can find a gallon water bottle, and it's got time markings right on the thing at 7 a.m., 8 a.m., and just drink down that line. And by the time you get to 5 o'clock at night, you drank all the assigned water for the day. Now, if you're exercising, or if you do have to go outside and walk, try to make sure that you do get in a little bit more than that gallon, just because your homeostasis, your body really needs it. Because as you talk, as you sweat, as you breathe heavier, you're expelling more water, you're expelling more hydrogen, more water vapor out. So you want to make sure you drink as much as you possibly can.
That's so good. So, Walter, the president tested positive for COVID, and you can't keep the president safe. It just really brings it home that, they've done an amazing job keeping him safe this long, but it just really brings it home that it can be inevitable for so many people that have had it, or you hear people getting it again and again. So can you talk to us from a health standpoint, why it's even more important, not just to feel good about yourself, but to actually keep your body healthy, your immune system boosted. What can you add as we go into the fall, which we know is an even greater time of upset?
As we go into fall, as we go into fall, we're going to spend more time indoors around more people, watching football games, watching kids sports, and stuff like that to get around a lot more people. And as much as I hate to say it, wear your mask. That is going to be one of your primary defense mechanisms. Don't be afraid to wear it. Go buy a fancy one. Just make sure that you have a KN95. They're some of the better ones that you can buy on the market. And protect yourself. You can't protect the whole world, but you can protect yourself as best as you can. Lower your probability of exposure. Like you said, it's the president himself, and he's getting people tested around him every 3 or 4 hours. He just came from a big overseas trip, and I'm sure they all got tested, and everyone Air Force One got tested, and somehow Joe Biden still got COVID-19. So I'm going to tell you, the safest step is to always protect yourself. Minimize your exposure. Wear your mask. Get vaccinated. Wear your mask.
I couldn't believe that they were talking about it. They were talking about Jill Biden today. She continued on with her schedule, but she didn't have a KN95 mask on. She had one of the regular blue masks on, and it seems to not even be perfectly fitted around the side of her face. Did anybody else see that? And they commented and said, don't you think she should have a better mask on?
Absolutely. Even watching all of the news channels today, even Fox News is talking about get vaccinated. And we know they weren't the big proponents of it. Wow. I genuinely think, like you stated earlier, Katrina, it's just a matter of when you're going to get it. It's not a matter of if. So lower your probability. Wear your mask. You're getting a large group of people, especially folks that you know that have, if you don't know if they've been tested or don't know if they've been infected, wear the mask. I literally have a box of 50 in my car. I have my one that I wear around my neck. I even have one in my backpack. It's just one of those things you have to protect yourself. Not just protecting you, you're protecting everyone else in your circle, everyone else being close to you, everyone else that lives in your house. You're protecting them as well. So look out for them. Don't just look out for yourself. If you feel sick, stay home. Don't have folks coming over to your house. Don't go out. That's one of my clients. He and his wife went out of the country, came back. She tested positive. I didn't see them for 3 weeks because she didn't test negative. Her wife, I don't even work with her. I work with her husband, and she didn't test, so I wouldn't go see him until you test positive and you can show me a test negative rather, and you can show the test. Yeah, she tests negative. I can't come see you because I have too many other people that I can't afford to put at risk. So it's not about you. Wear your mask, protect yourself. It's other people in the world.
You have to stay strong. It's not always easy for people to stay strong, but what you're giving an example is you have to stay strong even when other people don't agree with what you're doing.
It's very important.
I have another question, Walter, about the mask and being fit, because as we travel on these airplanes, and I'm sure I'm not the only one, but it is hard for me. I have noticed my oxygen level to the point that I have one of those little oxygen things. I've noticed my oxygen level goes down, and it's hard for me to keep the mask on the whole time and to breathe. It affects my breathing. I've noticed that my blood pressure can go up. Is there something, I can tell you this, because more cardio or something crazy you're going to say, but is that a fitness issue? Is that a fitness issue? I'm really
I can tell you that COVID it likes lung tissue. It likes your cardiovascular system. The healthier you are, the lower probability you have. It's a combination of things. It's not one size fits all because everybody is different, because everybody is going to respond differently. But the more cardiovascular fit you are, the lower probability that it is that you're going to have a difficult case of COVID should you contract it. But if you're healthy cardiovascularly, you wear your mask, you've been vaccinated, you avoid highly crowded areas, you're minimizing your exposure, you're minimizing your risk. God willing, you won't contract it.
I love it. I love the facts. You're giving us the facts. You're giving us some important things. When we come back, we're going to have Walter share a little bit more about how you can stay fit for the summer, some things that you can do to fit it in your schedule. As we are, in the house, out the house, traveling, doing all things, we have to take care of us. So hang tight, and we'll be right back. In our lives, in the world, everything that's taken place. We're talking about feeling good about ourselves and the importance of staying fit. We have personal trainer Walter Sellers of Classic Man Fitness. You can find him on social media at Classic Man Fitness LLC on Instagram, Facebook, and so forth. And so I wanted to bring the girlfriends in because we're talking about feeling good about you. And Sabrina, you and Chrisette were very bold with your Let's Move challenge, and we could tell the difference in how you were feeling good about yourself, the difference. Can you talk about how you made it, set that as a priority, and how it made a difference for you?
Yeah, for sure. Chrisette challenged us, and we had higher accountability.
And honestly, I think that's the first time ever that I went 5 days consistently for a month ever in my life. I've always, even when I was working with the trainer, it was 2-3 days a week, but not every day. And I tell you that every day made such a difference. And I haven't been doing every day in July, and I don't feel as good. I feel like something's missing. So when I had that high accountability, it just made me, forced me. And like this morning, it's like, oh, I really don't feel like it. And I didn't go. But now hearing Walter and hearing us have this conversation, I'm getting my butt out there and walking after this show. You got to move. It just makes such a difference. And it's so easy to not move. It's so easy to make an excuse. And as toxins, sweating those toxins out, I mean, it just releases the good stuff. and gets rid of the oats. So it makes a huge difference. So, I mean, my health coach also said I think I said this the other day, 20 minutes is more than 80% of the population do. 20 minutes a day. So, okay, go ahead, Walter. Go ahead, Walter.
You should see me smiling in my car right now. I am beaming. I am thanking God. You know, I was watching your Lesson Move project. I don't know if you saw my like such videos or not, but I was on it watching y'all do y'all thing. Talk about something that's motivating. Is doing it with other people. That accountability, like you said. You know, the biggest part of having a coach or a trainer is that accountability, because you know they're going to be there. Right. You know, you can depend on them to get you what you need. And, you know, feeling good about yourself, sometimes you don't want to get up. I can promise you, I'm one of the most motivated people that you're ever going to meet. But sometimes, I ain't going to lie, I don't want to get up. I don't want to go train. I don't want to eat cheesecake and ice cream. But then I'd be like, Walter, you got all these people that work with you. Excellence from you. Stay away from the cheesecake. So I appreciate the accountability that all of my clients give, but at the same time, you encourage each other. It's an awesome thing. So what I've done, and Katrina gave me a little bit of permission here to go a little bit with what I'm offering. I am currently running a new contest in exactly what you're talking about. It is called the Fit and Cruising Transformation Contest. It is going to start on August the 1st and go through August 31st. It is going to include a workout every single day, right in my mobile app. It's going to be about 30 to 45-minute workout, and it's going to be for 7 days a week. You don't have to work out every day, but the best transformation will go on a cruise for 3 days and 2 nights. We're going to have the best transformation. That is excellent. That's excellent. So, I'm going to take it even further. For the general public, that price is $139. The 31 days of fitness. The Force of Friendship, you're going to put in your code FOFFC59. That 59 is important because that's all you're going to pay is $59 for the contest. With that code, that means you will listen to Force of Friendship radio show.
I mean, for real.
It's something that transformation plan. Yes, for 2 people. And here's the crazy part. Walter, I'm not in Baltimore. I'm in California. The cruise will leave from the closest port to you, either LA, Miami, or Baltimore.
That is so brilliant, because that's the other thing is you motivate people. And for the Facebook audience and YouTube audience, it is everything is on the screen. For those of you on the radio, if you go to classicmanfitness.net, can they just go to classicmanfitness.net? You can come to our Facebook page and you'll see the link. But tell for the radio audience how they can find you, and then they can put that code in.
Yeah. It's very, very simple. Like you said, classicmanfitness.net. There is the second tab, the second page on the website. It's for the Fit and Cruising contest. If you just click that link, it'll take you on there. Now, also, why a cruise? Well, I want it to be fun, right? Because I want to go on a cruise too, so I'm going to go with you. But more importantly,
I'll be working out. I guarantee you.
When you feel good about yourself, you want to show yourself off. You worked hard. You know what? There is no better way to do that. And built into the app that you'll get for free, it's going to have a community with other folks who are in the concept that is on the same challenge, on the same journey as yourself. And quite honestly, this is something I love to do. I love motivating. I love working with folks. And one time at a time. I just calculated on Monday with my coach how many folks and how much weight we've lost. We've lost about 65,000 pounds since April 20th when I launched the business in 2020.
Wow. That's
Yeah.
motivating. That's motivating. It's like, can I just get 10 of them pounds? 10 of them pounds, give me 20 pounds. Wow. I think that is motivating.
I love it. I love working with folks, and I love working with all of my clients that, become your friends. I saw something the other day, and it was talking about what's it like being a coach, and being a coach is a lot like being a hairstylist. You gotta listen. You gotta understand what your client is going through, and you gotta be able to relate. And you gotta be able to say you'll know it's not the information for them, and that's part of what we offer here at Classic Men Fitness is that extra push, that extra nudge when you need it. So come get nudged on cruise. Enjoy this journey. Let's go have fun.
That's awesome. Gloria, I wanted to ask you the discipline, for as long as I've known you, you seem to have this discipline. I'm sure it's even hard days for you, but can you talk about how you developed the discipline for, keeping fit and in the craziness of your schedule, making it a priority? How did you get there? Did it just happen, or?
Well, Katrina, I'm so glad you have Walter on when I answer
This question, because I know where I falter, and I falter in this arena if I'm not very accountable. So having a trainer, because I've tried to do it without a trainer, but having a trainer who says, I'm going to meet you at 9:00 makes all the difference in the world for me. It really does. It's the coaching, it's the accountability, it is the motivation, and it's the events. I remember one trainer told me, Gloria, you are event motivated. So if I have to look good in an event, I can say very focused on that. But to get there, I always have to have somebody like Walter that is strong on me, because I won't give him an excuse. You have to know the trainers that work for you as well. And so I like a trainer that doesn't let me off, and Walter will say, okay, so if you can't come, then I can see you. And if you're going to eat something, then you need to tell me. And so I don't necessarily call him, but I think about calling him. I've sent him pictures when and he sees everything. If you send him a picture and there's a little piece of Heinz 57 on the table, he's like, what's that Heinz 57 doing on the table? I'm like, oh, Lord. Oh. So having somebody you're accountable. And let me just say this to you too. The money that you save by having a coach is major, because the money that you spend when you're not healthy is incredibly understandable. You can't understand. You can't put a price tag on health. You cannot put a price tag on health. You cannot put a price tag on how bad you feel when you know you're overweight. You can't put a price tag on how you feel self-esteem wise when you know you could be better and you have not taken the steps to get better. So, having a trainer that's really quality is a significant benefit to your heart and to your confidence.
Right.
Significant.
Walter, I want to ask you, because we're kind of talking on this last segment, we're going to talk about how women feel good about themselves. And I know that you see the transformation. I mean, I'm sure you work with women, they're super bad all day long in their profession, but you see us in our private lives, and so just if you can talk just a little bit when we come back about not just the physicalness of physically working out, but the other things that you see that make a difference in helping women to feel better about themselves. One of the important things is growing in self-love. Embracing your individuality is important, really important. There's always somebody who's stronger than you, smarter than you, prettier than you, but you have to grow in embracing your self-love. Sabrina, Gloria, how have you grown in embracing your self-love, Sabrina?
Well, that's going to take longer than the 30 seconds that we have before we go to break.
Which you took 10 seconds telling us you ain't got enough time, but
I think it's a decision. It's a decision. You got to count your blessings. Think about what you do have, not what you don't have. There's always so much to have an attitude of gratitude for. Stop thinking about, stop being negative. Stop self-sabotage. Really, 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 so many blessings to count them all day, every day. I think that's where you
And the
start.
people in the chat, if the people in the chat would put down some of your self-care, that'd be awesome. We'll come back and talk about it. That'd be great.
Absolutely. And Donna wants to know what's the time frame for taking the cruise. And I guarantee you, I didn't even ask Walter, but he will work with you. You transform your body, he gonna take the cruise when you can take the cruise. I promise you. I promise you. All right. Thanks. And we'll be right back. Make sure you stay tuned for a little bit more of We Got Issues. All right, we are back. And we got issues and we're talking about them. We are talking about them. We're leaning in today, talking about how to feel great about you. We are mind, body, and spirit. And we've been talking a lot about the body. Everything comes together. We have Walter Sellers, who is on radio of Classic Man Fitness, and so grateful for everything that he shared on the show. 5 things that you can do to 5 habits to make you feel good about yourself. Number 1, learn something new. Learning anything new can make a difference. It does something. It sparks things in your brain. It makes you feel good. It gets you a new passion. If you just, mundane, same thing over and over and over again, it's easy to fall into it. A podcast, tuning into We Got Issues. Okay. You're going to learn something new every time you're on this show. It's a big deal. The second thing on this list is get up and move every day. That's what we've been talking about. And it, talks about the science behind it and the importance of why you have to move every day. Giving yourself pep talks. I mean, we are big on the self-talk and how you talk and the difference it makes. And I just think that it all ties in together. I mean, when I'm feeling good in my body, it makes you feel good in your mind. And when you're feeling good in your spirit, you just want to have that that balance going on about your feeling good about yourself in all of those areas. Number 4, being nice to others. And again, I think this ties in. I mean, if you're in pain in your body, it's easy to kind of snap in other areas. So being nice to others and being nice to yourself. 5 things that I think they're not easy, but these are simple things. I mean, you can make a decision immediately. We have access to YouTube. There's no reason you can't learn something new every day. Right. I mean, you can learn something new all the time because we have access to it. So Gloria, I wanted you to lean in on the self-love conversation also. How have you grown in self-love, and or even how you help other women in growing in self-love?
You know, I really pay attention to the emotional management piece. And I find that for me and for people that I talk to a lot of times when people are feeling bad emotionally, it's because of other things. Like I talked to a couple of people today, and I could tell in their voice that they were just plain overwhelmed, and no one spoke to them about overwhelmed. And so, you know, I have chosen to get up early. My day is better when I get up really early in the morning and I have an hour and a half to myself. And it took some adjusting. I don't want to look at my social media. I don't want to look at my phone. I don't want to look at the text messages I missed the night before. I just want to have an hour and a half to myself of prayer and meditation. And it's easier for me to grab that habit in the summertime because when I wake up, it's like 72 degrees. I love being outside and I'm not hot then. So for me right now, that's what I'm doing. So as I talk to people, I'm asking them, when do they have any amount of quiet time at all? Because there's so much noise coming at us. There's so much noise coming at us, and we're so addicted to the noise. And I'm also addicted to the noise, but I know that when I do that, it's a problem. And then the other piece is that when you do work out, you do shut down everything. It's hard to work out. It's hard to be on the Peloton. It's hard to work out with the trainer and be looking at your phone and answering them. You really stop doing everything. So that's my self-care.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. And I find that that's so good. It's a goal of mine. And I find it very challenging because my husband gets up so much earlier than me. By the time I get up and I'm trying to have in my own little world time, he's like, I need this. And then y'all are on the East Coast. So the whole world is already moved. And I'm like, hold on, people, hold on. I'm still having my moment. Okay. So you just have to prioritize it, because the moment you touch that phone, there's people who want your attention. It's right. Just, you lose it, you know? Right. So, Sabrina, do you do that for yourself in the morning, the evening? When is your me time?
Yeah, girl, today it was in the middle of the day. When you called me, I was taking a nap. Okay. I mean, I just get it. You know, it's funny. I never really take naps, but today I was like, I want a nap. And I just obliged in taking a nap, and it felt so good. And Kenny comes in like, what are you doing? Like, what in the world are you doing laying down, you know? Because I'm never laying down in the middle of the day. And so, but most of the time, it's morning. I'm not a real early morning person, but that's when I've been working out. So I can take my time to read do my Bible study, get my workout in. So it's been morning. But today, I'm so blessed. We have a home sauna. And so sometimes it's late at night, you know, 12:30, 1 o'clock in the morning. Because when I tell you that's the best sleep, that's the best sleep. But it's just so nice just to get all that, to sweat and to think and be quiet or listen to the music to calm your thoughts. I think you have to get it in where you can fit it in. That's always been my motto.
I'm going to go back to you, Walter. I love that Judith John says a gratitude journal and learn how to check yourself quickly and remember to thank God that I'm fabulous. I love that. I think that's some good advice. Stop the stinking thinking. I mean, seriously, if the words coming out of your mouth are, you know, a lot of times you are having it because you're saying it. So change your conversation, change your thoughts. Feel good about you. You just, you know, it's really important. Walter, you work with so many women, particularly just in the last 3 minutes of the show. How do you see women increasing their self-love?
The biggest part, believe it or not, is just to listen. You know, most people, not just women in general, but clients in general, will tell you what areas they feel sensitive about. And it's a matter of listening and like you said, using the self-correcting words. Walter, my arms are weak. No, your arms have opportunity. It's Walter, I'm fat. No, you're not. Don't talk about my fat like that. So, it's finding the Lord. So, it's a matter of finding the right words that are reassuring, that are positive, that aren't necessarily self-defeating. So,
and then when you do that, when you do that for us, then it reminds you to do that for yourself, to shift and change a little bit. When you were talking about them planks, I was like, look, I will never get there on this end of the plank. I'm not comparing. I ain't trying to beat nobody, but I went 30 seconds longer than I went the last time. I'm better today than I was yesterday. Yesterday, one of my really good.
I told you I was in one of my clients, and they're listening to the show right now, listening to the call, and they're like, "Walter, you're lying." And they're both
I was talking to my girlfriend yesterday, Angelique, and those of you that know Angelique, she's just one of the most, she always lifts up, she always makes me feel good, she always tells me how great, and I wrote this down, she said this yesterday, and she's got a lot going on. She said, I'm doing the best I can in this moment.
And I wrote that down, and I said, that is such a good affirmation.
Right.
Do the best you can in this moment, because there's a lot of things pressing that cause you can't compare what you used to do, what you used to be. You don't want to let yourself off the hook and not be as good as you can. We want to give our best. We want to operate in excellence, but I'm doing the best I can in this moment. To everyone that's listening to We Got Issues, boys, men, girls, women, do the best you can in this moment. Feel good about you. Move your body. Go to Classic Man Fitness and put in that code FOFFC59. Get your $59 chance to win a cruise. Okay, let's go. We all want to feel good. We all want to look good. And the great thing is we have the opportunity to do it. So thanks for tuning in, and we'll see you tomorrow on We Got Issues. Bye-bye.
Peace. See y'all tomorrow.